Last week, I managed to get all of my neighbours' sheep sheared, which meant that this week, with mum and dad away celebrating their 35th wedding anniversary, I had some odds and sods jobs to do. One of which was cutting my neighbours' hedges before harvest. And that was all going great, until I found this. I still struggle to understand how some people think that it's okay to buy stuff, load it onto a vehicle, and rather than take it to the tip, which all this stuff could have gone to the tip, which is less than 2 miles from here, they decide to break into the farmer's gate, back in, because you can see the wheel tracks, and just tip it out. I really struggle to understand the lack of morality, the lack of ethics, and the just sheer lack of respect for other people. It honestly baffles me. If you're willing to buy something, you should have the forethought to understand that at some point there's going to be a reason to discard that thing. And if you're not willing to do what it takes to discard it, you shouldn't be buying it in the first place. That's the way I look at it. So then I had to clamber back into the cab and make an unwanted phone call to my next door neighbour. After which I headed back to the yard because I had some cows to move. I've been let loose on the buggy. Dad's gone away. And it means I've actually get to drive this. It's the first time since we've had it that I've actually really driven it for the day. Oh, that looks like rain. I doubt it though, because that'd make the grass grow. And we can't be having that, can we? Just have a look at this, have a look at this. Does that look like rain? Am I wishful thinking? I'm heading off to Thornton because it is a big move day over there today. We've got to take the cows from one side back to start grazing rotation again, right down the other side. I'll explain a bit more when we get there. Oh, before I actually go, I might just add that Dad has quickly managed to get this thing back to the same state that the old one was in. I took up all these posts yesterday because we had a temporary fence around the outside of an old arable field that we haven't fenced yet. And we got all the stuff in here. Like, it's all useful stuff, but it's just a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's go. Now, I'm not sure if I've ever really explained our Thornton ground in the past, but here it goes. So it's in 3 fields, but 2 halves, if that makes any sense at all. We've got one big field, which is behind the camera, and then we've got 2 smaller fields up here. So that's half of it, and this is the other half. And what happens is the cows start on the far end down there, and then they graze in rotation up the big field. They come through this gate, they graze across the middle field, head up to the top field, graze it back, and then when they're done there, they run all the way back to the start again. And that's what we got to do today. We got to bring cows from the very top up on what we call the barn field, and they come across the middle field, down into here, which is the pen field, but they got to go all the way down there. So we've strung the fence up for those guys. We've put a fence up just here to stop them heading the wrong direction when they come through the gate. And I'm going to run a fence from here now up to the top, and hopefully we'll just have to let them through and they'll do the rest of it themselves. Fingers crossed. Oh, wait a minute, I was just about to get out and string a wire onto there, but look, this is a spring water fed, all of this, and they're down at the spring. This could be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to string a wire the other way and run them up the lane, because we put a bit of a grazing lane in so they can always get back to the spring water. Well, this could make my life a lot easier than I was expecting. I'm just gonna head up to the top now and make sure they are all there, but I reckon the bulls have corralled them down at the bottom there because there's a couple of them bulling, which I'm really hoping has made my life easy. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely nothing up here. Right, let's go move them. I'll tell you the other thing too. Super hot today, and that's probably the only place in the field that they've got shade until about 12 o'clock. So I wonder if they've gone down there for that reason as well. Whatever it is, I don't care. It's all played in my favor. Just gonna take down that electric fence handle there, and I'll walk up to the left. Come on then, guys. Oh, my legs are too short for this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've still got it. Still got it. Come on then, you lot. This way then. Come on. See, I could have just gone through this gate handle, couldn't I? That would have. Why didn't I do that the first time? I think we're gonna have to go around them with a buggy. Come on, boys and girls. I'm glad mine doesn't swing around like that when I'm running. Looks painful, boy. We're running everything out here on these solar powered electric fences. This is just a little Gallagher S16. I think it's probably about the smallest one they do, but it's bloody brilliant. We've got some little galvanized earth stakes driven in strategically, and then we've got these on, and they just do the job. They provide enough kick for these electric fences, because these fences we haven't got a permanent fence over here, so we have to use some sort of solar system. And yes, we do have to chain everything up because things go walkabouts. It's got to the point where we've got that many squire locks, because I think every gate on the farm's pretty much got a lock on it. I think we ought to buy some shares in Squire, because we're keeping that place going. We've got some bigger ones. We've got an S40, I think, at the farm, which is really good. It's on the heifers. That's kicking out at 5,000 now, so that'll keep them in nicely. We'll actually talk a bit more about Gallagher later on, because Gallagher have been round and done some cool stuff on our big electric fencer at home. But when we get home, we'll talk about it. But they're good. If you want a solar power fencer, just go on these little ones. Just don't put them on the floor, because you get like the bugs and the wet in them. Just, you want them up a bit. So that's why we chain them up and keep them facing the sun, and we never have to worry about them. They're just brilliant bits of kit. Them guys are super happy down there. They've gone in the bottom of the brook and under all the willow trees, so there's a nice bit of shade. All I've got to do now is just round up all these electric fences, because I've got the one I put up to get them here, and then there's 2 that run up to take them down to the drinking place, which kind of like makes the lane backwards and forwards, and then there's one up at the top. So we'll be pretty fully stocked with wires when we're done, which is good, because you can never have enough wires. Now, just a gentle reminder that it is past the 1st of July. So, if you are in England and you have cattle, the blue tongue restriction zone has moved from one field away from our farm to the whole of England. So if you are anywhere in England, you have to do the paperwork. I've had loads of reminders one way or another from NBA, APHA and all sorts of stuff. And even I'd forgot until they text me this morning. So yeah, just make sure you get your paperwork done, because no one needs the trouble and the hassle of that, do they? I know there'll be a lot of people looking at this grass and thinking, why the hell don't you just go and top it or mow it or do something to tidy it up, because we've got a lot of long, stalky stuff in here, and it's not overly palatable for cows. It's not the best stuff for growth rates or anything like that, but topping it or mowing it is probably the worst thing that we could possibly do, given the situation we're in right now. So on our farm, we haven't had a significant rain since February. We had a week or so of a few heavy showers, which was nice in May, but we've had very, very little rain at all over the last 3 or 4 months, and it is getting a bit dire one way or another. And then we get hot days like this as well, where it's 30 degrees, it is baking hot, it is muggy, it is warm, it's sticky, and it's not overly pleasant to be out here. So given that situation, what do most of us do? If it's hot, whatever, we head for some shade, because we want to cool down. It's always cooler in the shade, right? That's kind of why we're leaving this grass. This grass is providing shade for the soil that's underneath it, because we've got this long thatch that's getting trampled when the cows come across it and whatever. And what that thatch is doing is, when we do get some dew, that thatch is lying down on top of the soil surface and it's trapping that moisture. And not only that, is it's also protecting and creating shade for the soil that's underneath. So we're reducing the soil temperature, which is then keeping the microbial activity more active. It's holding that moisture in the soil for longer, and it is giving us more growth. Although it doesn't look like we're getting much growth, it is helping. If we were to come in here and mow this and take a few bales off it for the winter, we'd probably end up feeding those few bales the week after because we wouldn't have anything here to be able to graze. Just leaving that long grass when you can in this situation, keeping that thatch, keeping that moisture is really helpful. Now, if this was different and we were getting a lot of rain, there was a lot of moisture in the ground, there was forecast showers, whatever, yeah, I'd probably come in here and mow it, but we're not, and we need to make the management decisions that are suitable for the situation. So you might remember earlier on I said about the fact that Gallagher had been over and had done some stuff for us, which is awesome, like really, really cool. I'm so excited about this. If you've been watching a while, you'll know earlier in the year we had an electric fence break, and then we decided to put a brand new electric fence energizer up in the shed, and we went for the M5000i, which is the biggest one we can get in the UK. And the fact that it's got an eye on the end means that it is interactive, I guess, and you can link it up to the internet and control it from your phone. But we didn't do that to start off with because we hadn't got internet to the shed where the Energizer was, but now we have. My brother's put up this big antenna thing, which is a hardwired internet booster, which means I can now get internet down the field, which is crazy, and we get internet now at the Energizer, which means that we can actually use the fancy Gallagher app on our phones to turn it on and off when we're down the field. So as long as I have internet, I can be anywhere in the world and turn the fence on and off. Mad. But the guys from Gallagher did one more. They came in even better and they put us in these beauties just here. Now, I don't know how many of you remember, but I said when we put the Energizer in that you can use that thing and create these zones on your farm. So we can have a zone of electric fence over here, and then another zone over there, and another one, another one, another one. And you can have up to 6 zones on your farm, which means that when you have a problem, you'll get a notification that will say, you've got a problem on your electric fence in zone 1, for example, which is this one, which we know is a certain part of the farm. So when we go looking for that problem, we can exclude everywhere else on the farm and just go and look on zone 1, and we might find a tree down, and we might find that it's been broken or whatever, and we can go and fix it. So what we've got is here is we've got zone 1 and zone 2, which power different ends of the farm. And we are going to put more of these things in across the farm as we put more fences up, because it means that we can control different areas. But then on the app, what is really cool, if we go into here, is it actually shows you what power you're getting through the different zones and what power you're getting through your Energizer as well. Now, how these things work is we have the mains electric fence coming in, so that's the mains power coming into each zone, and it links here and we can turn it on and off there so that we can isolate the zone if we need to manually. But then we also have earth stakes down in the floor here, which create the circuit and make these things work. And these have just got some batteries on the inside of there, as you can see, and that then sends a signal back to the Energizer in the shed. The other thing is then we can go on the app here, and on the app it's telling us that our Energizer is currently kicking out at about 8.8, so 8,800 volts, and we've also got 78 amps of draw on it, which is a little bit much, but we have got a few electric fences down here on the brook line that are a bit overgrown. We are doing something about that, don't worry, they'll sort themselves out in time as we get around to dealing with it. And then if we click on the drop down menu, we have our zones too. So currently I've got zone 2 turned off, so we've got lost zone connection on zone 2, but then on zone 1 we can see that we've got 5,000 volts going through zone 1 and 13 amps of draw down on the wire, and you get this little cool graph which tells you how it's been powering overnight and for whatever time. So you can see if you have a notification when you wake up in the morning when it went down, so you can be like, okay, the cows are probably out. And then it also shows you it over time, so we've got 7 days and we've got 30 days as well. I'm absolutely in love with this. I love the fact that I can check my electric fences, which is incredibly sad, but I just think it's brilliant, and any farmer will love this app. And this is available, as I say, on any of the i-Series. So if you buy a electric fencer, get the i-Series ones from Gallagher, and you can get all this stuff and add it onto your fences. And the thing is, it might seem a bit overkill at times, but as we get less people on farm, and we have weeks like this where I'm on my own, I now can go out and do something in the tractor safe in the knowledge that the electric fences are working, and if there's a problem, I'll just get a notification on my phone and I can go and deal with it. I mean, it is really no surprise how much we like Gallagher stuff. All those posts are Gallagher. We use Gallagher posts on everything. They have said to me that they're going to get a reel and they're going to make it fit on this bracket so that we can give the Gallagher reels a go, which they really rate, so we can see them. I know the guys at Powered Pasture absolutely love the Gallagher reels. And one thing I will say is I have to put a massive thank you to Colin Catley at Catley Engineering and Adam at Catley Engineering, because we said to them about 12 months ago they were looking at electric fence gear to stock in the shop. We said, try the Gallagher stuff, it's absolutely brilliant. And if it wasn't for Catley Engineering dealing with Gallagher and then selling Gallagher down to us, we wouldn't have been putting those things up. So massive thank you to all of you guys, because it was awesome and I'm flipping love it. So I cracked on and moved a few cows, but only after I'd deciphered Dad's instructions. He said he was Dad said he was going to leave me all the instructions, as usual, written on a lid. He went, oh, it's on one side, but I had to go onto the other side. It makes perfect sense. What about that makes perfect sense? I don't know. I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at. Oh dear. I think half of this is from last time. I don't know. So after a quick jargon buster, I managed to work it out. And then it was time to throw a few fences up. Two things for you. Firstly, here's the Gallagher S40 that I was talking about earlier. This is the bigger solar panel one. It comes with a stand, which is galvanized too, so you can use it as an earth stake. And this is really good. It's got two different settings, so faster and a slower pulse, pretty much. One for cattle and livestock and one for wildlife. So if you use it to keep stuff out rather than in. And secondly, I've not introduced this beauty over here, hiding at the back. Baracus or Baracus. Don't really know which one it is, but it's a bit tomato, whichever you want to call him. Baracus, whatever. So here he is, sports fans. This is the main man that we bought from John Ainsley earlier in the year. And he came down a couple of weeks ago and he absolutely looks a peach of a thing. He's about 900 and something kilos weighing up at John Ainsley's, but he's come here and he doesn't look particularly big against these heifers, but these heifers are doing very, very well. I don't know if I've actually spoken about how well these heifers are doing. When we give them their second blue tongue vaccination, I weighed them. So I weighed them on the first one, weighed them at the second one. So there was 3 weeks to the day between the two weighings. And the best ones were doing 2.5 kilos a day off of grass. They were averaging 1.83. Top 25% were between 2.25 and 2.5 kilos a day. Absolutely flying and weighing 420 kilos or something there on average. So they are doing really well, perfect for bulling. And this is going to be the main man that does the job for us. So with the dry weather set to continue, we just do what we always do. We put our heads down and we carry on. Because we know we can't change the weather. But one thing we can change is our reaction to it. And if the rain soon comes, then great. But if it doesn't, hopefully the decisions we've made will mitigate the impact that the dry weather is having. Because let's face it, we live in England. It will one day rain again, and when it does, it will not know when to stop. Until next time, Baldy's Farm, over and out.